Hey, beloveds. How are you guys? Awesome. Kelly, welcome. Great to see you. Allison, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, hun. Really great to have you. All right. Let's go ahead and dive in. Oh, good. The sound's working. I can hear myself coming back to me. Um, okay. Okay. Whew. All right, so let me go ahead and share the screen. Welcome in. Who's here for the first time? Who's with us for the first time? It would be great to know who our first timers are. Welcome. Welcome in. Awesome. Hey, Jill. Hey, Mother Healer. Welcome. Cookie. Welcome. Hey, Sherry and Sheila. Glad to be here with you. Angelique Marisi. Thank you for joining us. Laurel Charles, great to have you. Thank you. Glad you're here. You're new. Okay, welcome. I was just going to say, I don't feel like I've seen your name before, but thanks for commenting and saying hello. Yesterday was your first time. Oh, and you loved it. Great, Sheila. That's good to know. Thanks for that little bit of insight about what your experience was like. And welcome, Sheila. Welcome, Sheila, and welcome, Laurel. Great to have you both here. All right. Well, if you're just joining, please drop the video a like. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because that's how you'll get all the juicy details about meditations like this. You'll also get special updates that I only provide for subscribers in the community section, in addition to being the first to know about new content when it's posted. Oh, awesome, Laurel. Great. Well, welcome. Let's go ahead and get into the introduction, and then we'll go ahead and start our meditation. We're on day 8 of a 12-day Christ consciousness meditation, and this 12-day meditation was shared with me from my guides, my spirit guides, in 2017 at the very beginning of the year, springtime, late winter. And they shared this meditation as a way to support me and all of us with moving toward greater vibration of unconditional love. This meditation, you can do it anytime you like. It doesn't just have to be done here. What we're going to do together here today is about 45 minutes to an hour in terms of the meditation itself. However, after the meditation, we're going to unite hearts as a human heart grid and support the humans on planet Earth with a special transmission of healing and unconditional love for a challenge facing the humans on Earth. When we get to that part of the meditation, you are welcome to stay for that if you're so inclined, but you don't have to. It's just an optional portion of the meditation. During that piece, I will ask those of you who are here if you'd be willing to type a situation into the comments or the chat box for us that human beings are facing on planet Earth that could use a little bit more love and unconditional love and healing. It's best if we make this very specific and aligned with specific human beings as opposed to general, like fear or general, like, anxiety, those kinds of things. So, for example, We worked with protesters on day 2 for creating, and not just the protesters, but the people in the world and creating racial equality. We worked on day 3 with healing for children who are sexually and physically abused. On day 4, we worked with women who would like to activate their voice and power. On day 5, we worked with world leaders. And day 6, we worked with people who are struggling with loss of a loved one, livelihood, or home. And yesterday, we worked with a love transmission for all frontline workers across the globe. So, if you're called to share something, just make sure it's very specific in terms of having people that we can call in and work with, as opposed to a generalized feeling that could be happening on planet Earth. Okay. Furthermore, it's important to share that when we do this meditation, let me pull this up. We're going to be working with the 7 chakras. And before you begin, it's very important to always create a sphere of energy protection around you as you open the chakras and begin to work with their energies. On the left, you can see what each of the chakras are if the chakra system is new to you. And on the right, you can see what each of these source energy centers stand for or represent in terms of our abilities as divine incarnate. You may notice as you move through the meditation movement or energy or heat or sensation in any of the source energy centers. It's okay. Allow the movement to move in the way it's going to. Allow it to show you where you may be stuck or where there are things to clear. Just allow yourself to be with what's there. There's nothing wrong. It's just a matter of energy moving and revealing to you what's going on as it's moving. When we get to the piece of the meditation where we work with the third eye, I'm going to ask you to find the place where the third eye and the crown meet, given that the third eye comes in through the forehead and the crown comes in through the top of the skull. Focus your energy and attention there when we do that piece of the meditation. And then when we get to the crown, we're going to do something very special and specific with the crown. But we're going to work with the first 6 chakras first. Ultimately, what we're doing is we're going to circulate our energy, starting with our heart, down through, up and around, back through the third eye, and then down into the heart. In doing that, what we're creating here is, come on, PowerPoint, you can do it. We're going to create a heart-based torus field, and a toroidal field is simply a field of energy that works like a vortex, expandable and contractible from a centralized energy force in the center. That energy force in the center is going to be our heart, and we are going to anchor love into our heart first and ultimately activate our toroidal column of light with all chakras vibrating at the same frequency, ultimately merging to become a single column of light. Some meditators have shared that on occasion they have struggled with staying awake during the meditation. I suggest that you can do one of 2 things if you know this is something that has been a challenge for you. I have worked with either sitting at the very edge of a chair with both feet flat on the ground, back straight up, as opposed to back resting on the back of the chair. That keeps my body and my mind in that theta brainwave state, as opposed to slipping straight into delta where we get that REM sleep. The second thing I would suggest, if staying awake or staying present is a real challenge for you, is to just work with your hands kinetically. When we provide a series of commands for each of the source energy centers, you can use your hands to conduct the energy almost as if you're conducting a symphony. Just move your hands in a way that allows you to feel like you are moving the energy with them. Okay. Um, And with all of that said, we'll go ahead and begin. At the end of our time together, there will be a short period of open Q&A and open sharing about your experiences during the meditation. Should anything have arisen for you that seemed a little weird or awkward or unusual, you're curious if it's normal, or if you just had an extraordinary experience and you'd like to share that, you're welcome to do that. It also helps to validate other people's experience as they re listen to the meditation in the days going forward. I thank you so much for joining me for this special meditation during this very special year. I trust that all of you who are here were called, consecrated, and are here for a reason. I'm very much looking forward to diving in with you. With that said, go ahead and bring your attention and your energy into stillness and allow yourself to settle in. Don't worry if you're having trouble remembering anything that I just shared. It's totally okay. Know that I'm going to prompt you along the way, and you'll have complete guidance, and you will also have complete control over your personal experience. And just begin to see your energy settling around you like sheets, fresh, clean sheets falling to the bed, or leaves glittering to the ground. See your energy coming to rest. Go ahead and call forward and create a sphere of energy protection around you, above and below, left and right, front and back, covering you completely. And you may wish to provide some instruction to this field of protection, acknowledging the master creator that you are. I now command that only that which is love may enter this space. Very good. And now just bring your attention to your heart center. And you may wish to see it open with a gentle command like this. I now command this source energy center to open. And just see it gently opening to reveal its light to you. Just be with any thoughts or memories currently presenting. Know that what's going through your mind at this moment is also what's currently anchored in your heart. And now let us command the binding of harm and transmutation to love. I now command anything that has emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love. Feel it releasing now. And now let us command our healing. I now command source love to come down and heal those harmed places, flooding them with love and this source energy center with love, so they may be made whole again. Just notice what that feels like as it's happening across all times, all spaces, all dimensions. I now command the source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it, and all associated cells and DNA reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And now gently float your attention to your solar plexus. And now command the source energy center to open. Just see your solar plexus opening. Be with what it wants to reveal today. Now let us command the binding of harm and transmutation to love. I now command source love, come down and flood this source energy center and all those harmed places, making them whole again. And now let us command our ascension. I now command this source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it, and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And from your power center, you may wish to supply the command for working across all timelines, dimensions, and spaces. I now command all work done during today's meditation to be completed across all timelines, spaces, and dimensions associated with these source energy centers. Gently bring your attention to your sacral. You may wish to see it opening with a gentle command. I now command this source energy center to open. And just like an eye opening, watch it reveal. Whatever memories, people, images are coming up, it's okay. Let us now command the transmutation to love. I now command anything that has emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love. Feel it releasing. See it going. I now command source love come down and flood those harmed places and this source energy center across all timelines, spaces, and dimensions, making them whole again. I now command the source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it, and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And gently bring your awareness to your root. I now command the source energy center to open and just be with whatever images or memories, sensation or thoughts are coming forward. Let us now command the transmutation of harm to love. I now command anything that has emanated from this source energy center across all timelines, spaces, and dimensions that has caused harm be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love. Let us now command our healing. I now command source love come down and flood this source energy center and all those harmed places, making them whole again. I now command this source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it, and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And now bring your attention to the place where the third eye and crown meet in the center of your skull, back behind your eyes. I now command this source energy center to open. I now command anything that has emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm across all timelines, spaces, and dimensions be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love. I now command Source Love to come down and flood those harmed places and this Source Energy Center with love, making them whole again. I now command this Source Energy Center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it, and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match to the vibration and frequency of Christ consciousness. And just bring your attention to your throat. And let us now command the throat energy center to open. I now command the Source Energy Center to open. I now command anything that is emanated from this Source Energy Center that has caused harm be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to Source for a full transmutation to love. I now command Source Love to come down and flood those harmed places across all timelines, spaces, and dimensions, making them whole again. I now command this source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And gently connect your illuminated throat to your illuminated heart, your heart to your solar plexus, allowing the energy to expand into the sacral, expanding again into the root, coming through the root, out and around, and back in through the crown, allowing that crown to expand to that third eye, back through to the throat, and into the heart. Allowing the energy to move through, out, and around you. And as that energy continues to flow, bring your awareness to your crown and notice just above your crown a space where you can create a symbol of unconditional love. See that symbol bright and shiny, illuminated from within. Just bring that symbol of unconditional love to rest at your crown and gently allow it to fill into your crown, lighting up your crown, doing for your crown chakra what we've done at every other step, all in one. lighting it up. And now allow that illuminated crown to merge with that third eye, and just bring that symbol through the third eye, through the throat, into the heart, merging now with the solar plexus, lighting it up. Lighting up the sacral, seeing that symbol move through the root and span out and arc up and around to envelop you in love. And see it gathering again and taking shape at your crown. Just allow it, that symbol, to move through your activated toroidal column of light. Allow it to move through. Just a few more times. Allowing those chakras to become merged. As one column of light. And on your next round of moving that symbol of unconditional love through you and around you and back in, allow it to come to rest in your heart center. And gently bring your awareness to your protective field. And just notice how it's been protecting you while you do this meditation. And gently allow yourself to begin to expand, filling the room that you're sitting in with love. allowing that torus field to press out. Press out gently again and fill the entire building that you're sitting within. And gently expand again and fill your entire block or street or cul-de-sac. And gently expand again, filling your city or town, allowing that love energy to run through you, out and around you. And back in. Expanding again to fill your territory, state, or province. And once again, allow yourself to expand. Now filling your country. And just keep going. You may have already felt yourself gently brush against the energy of another meditator. It may feel like a balloon pressing against a balloon. If you haven't felt that yet, just keep going. Keep expanding. And as you begin to bump into one another, gently ask for one another's permission to connect heart to heart, that we may cover the earth in a heart grid of love. And now we've come to the point in the meditation where I'll invite one of you to suggest a challenge that the human beings on planet Earth are experiencing, that it would serve them to have a healing activation of unconditional love around. If you feel so called, please type it in the chat. And if you're just enjoying the energies, you're welcome to continue to do so. Hmm. Mother Healer, that's a great one. Let's go for it. Today, we're going to work with families who are struggling with hunger, especially those children of our world. Food scarcity and insufficiency is something that challenges a lot of people, both in urban and rural areas across the globe. Hmm. I'm reminded now that hunger takes more than just the form of food. There are those who are mentally, spiritually, and physically starving. Okay, let me just tune in and see what the guidance is for providing a transmission around this. All right, the first thing that was revealed had to do with the acknowledgement that we share so much of the exact same DNA. In fact, I think about 70, is it 70 to 90% of the DNA that human beings have, they share with all other mammals in all other forms that mammals take. So the first thing they showed me was that the cellular DNA within the very esophagus and stomach and intestines that live inside of our bodies, the DNA there is precisely shared and replicated in human beings all over the world. And so they invited me to start with us as a healing for our own digestive systems and the malnourishment happening within, that we may become a vibrational transmutation, holding that frequency for all those around the globe. And they said, start there. So if you would be so kind as to bring your attention, your loving attention to your own digestive tract, your teeth, your tongue, your saliva, your throat, your esophagus, small and large intestines. You may bring a hand, if it's helpful to you, to a place on your body that feels right. Just allow your attention to come to rest with a singular cell in the system. Find a singular cell and just allow your attention to come and rest there. There you go. And just notice everything that that cell needs that it has not received. Let that cell show you if there's anything needed. Physically, spiritually, emotionally. In whatever way it wants to reveal that for you. And now just allow the love energy running through you to fill that cell. Fill it in with unconditional love and light it up. See that cell coming to saturation and wholeness. And let us provide the love in that cell with a series of commands to assist the collective with this transmutation and transmission. I now command that all cells surrounding this cell and every cell touching it after come to resonate and vibrate at the frequency of unconditional love. Allowing love now to activate the body and the body's activation to create healing in a barren place. I now command that unconditional love provide that which this body most needs. I now command, by the law of correspondence, that what is happening with this cell and this body be transposed from body to body as cells upon Mother Earth. That this healing transmission occurring within these bodies be transmitted to every hungry body on the planet now. Very good. Oh, I see you guys activating. You're lighting up like popcorn or something. It's very cool to watch. All right, now we're going to flip our focus. They've shown me we're going to work with the gatekeepers to food and the access to food. So, gatekeepers include owners of chain grocery stores, farmers, governments. And departments of governments in your country that specifically deal with the harvesting of food, food laws, and access to food. So we're going to ask all willing hearts from the supply chain to step forward. And you may see in front of you 1, 5, 15 people. Allow them to come forward as lights in front of you now. All willing hearts. Thank the hearts who have showed up in your presence. You don't need to know what they do. Or what their role is. Just thank them for showing up and ask them if they are willing to receive a transmission of unconditional love that will guide them in their work. And those who have said yes, thank them. Those who need some gentle explanation, provide it. And those who have declined, thank them and say to them, I release you. It's okay for people to not be ready. The hearts who remain, ask them to just open their heart and receive the love transmission now. And where that symbol of unconditional love resides in your heart, allow it to simply beam forward, floating to all hearts in front of you. Providing them with a gentle transmission, a beam of light, a pulse that simply emanates through you to them, providing all the codes and instruction they need. Beautiful. You may wish to continue your work with people. If so, just pause this meditation. For those of you ready, thank the hearts who've shown up. Just gently begin to bring your energy back to you. If you need to, draw a circle over your heart to release the flow or to stop the flow, and allow the energy to continue to run through you, out, up, and around. Through you, out, up, and around. Very good. Just bring your energy and attention back toward your own field, knowing that you don't have to solve everyone's hunger problems today. That the love that comes through you is enough. Trust that you've done enough. Knowing that that transmission will reach more hearts day by day. Float your energy back toward your country, back toward your province, state, or territory. Then one by one, Gently begin to thank and release your heart grid partners for today, bringing your energy back to you. Bringing your energy back into your town or city, floating your energy back to your block, your street, your cul-de-sac. And now bring your energy back into your building, back into your room. Very good. Just allow yourself to see your energy running through, out, and around you, concentrated in the room that you sit in. And if you like, you may continue to enjoy the vibrations. We are now going to move into the Q&A portion and complete our meditation together. As you're ready, pause the meditation if you need more time, or begin to stretch. Open your eyes, sip some water. Take some deep breaths, move your limbs. Thank you, everybody. It was nice to meditate with you. Appreciate you guys being here. Lovely to meditate with all of you. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or any reflections about their experience? It's totally okay if you don't. You're welcome, Mother Healer. You're welcome. Yeah, they were showing me that we were like cells in a giant body to some degree. Lise Collins shares, thank you so much. Feeling very rested. Awesome, Lise. So happy to hear it. Beautiful girl shares, thank you, Kay, and thank you, Mother Healer, for that beautiful suggestion. Yes, thank you, Mother Healer. I'm hoping some time before we close out that we did something for the women of planet Earth. I feel like there's got to be something for the men too. We did women who want to activate their voice and power. Be really good to do whatever the inverse of that is for men and what they need. It'd also be really good to work around sex trafficking, but we'll see if anyone brings it up. Not just sex trafficking, but human trafficking for any and all purposes, but humans who aren't allowed to live freely or bought and sold. It would be good to do some healing around that. Thank you, everyone. Super appreciate you guys being here. Beautiful Girl says, I have a question. Is it possible I am absorbing the fear of those around me because no matter what I do, the fear keeps coming back? Beautiful Girl, yes, that is 1000% possible. Without, a full deep dive with you, it's hard to know. Um, mm, 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 mm. Fear can, I think, be associated with root, but it can also be associated with some of the other chakras, depending upon what the fear is. Um, but if you're noticing that you are being highly sensitized by this meditation, beautiful girl, while we're doing this meditation, it would probably be a good idea to start to unplug as much as you can from outlets that will provide fear in the subtext of the communication. Unfortunately, that means like all media. um, it's almost the purpose, especially of marketing, to create a level of fear of missing out at the lightest, to get you to purchase things. But then there's at the heaviest fear of something bad happening. So that's, the news can kind of communicate that. You can find that on television shows. There's a lot of television shows that leverage that fear energy in order to provide entertainment, to give that emotional jolt that people consider entertaining. And so, during this passage, especially if you're doing this meditation, but during this Cancer new moon eclipse passage, you're going to find yourself super sensitive. All of us are. So, if fear is something you're struggling with, definitely use your creatorship to be very thoughtful and mindful about what you allow yourself to be exposed to. And it's not just about what you don't put in, but it's also about what you do choose to put in as well. We have the opportunity every day. What kind of music are we going to listen to? Songs about fearing loss and fearing loss of love? Or are we going to listen to uplifting songs? What kind of shows are we going to watch? What kind of social media are we going to take in, if any? So, giving yourself the opportunity to just be in this more highly sensitive space, and unplugging from so much of the inputs will assist you at this time. The other thing, my guides told me this about 2 months ago. They were like, we need you to unplug from everything that's kind of going on from a media perspective. And they really told me this like, yeah, it was like 60 days ago. They were like, take a media fast, a 40-day media fast. Or was it a 30-day, 2 week? I don't remember. They just gave me a number of days and they were like, don't look at media for this amount of time. And I was like, you guys, this is near impossible. I'm on YouTube every day. How am I not supposed to look? So I would just tune in to what your guidance is around that for you. But one of the things that they shared was that even when you're looking at positive media, because so much in the frequencies are encoded with that fear, you could be looking at, cartoons of My Little Pony or, positive children's cartoons. But because there's so much moving through the airways and the radio waves right now, those who are acutely psychically attuned will pick up even when they are not watching fear stuff. They could be watching positive stuff and the transmission will still come through. So that's why they were like, we just want you to unplug because this next little bit's not going to be pretty. And then sure enough, like the whole thing like blew up. I was like, you guys, I can't unplug from this. They were like, try. So, yeah, it's possible you could be absorbing something from the collective. It's also possible that some of it could be yours too, that's getting activated from the collective. So take the time to pay attention to what's going on for you personally, what you personally may be afraid of, that you could use your creatorship to create more security for yourself around. Great question, beautiful girl. Thank you. Sheila Jenkins says the cell presented itself as a baby holding out its hands. I don't know if it needed attention or human touch. Sheila, yeah, it's interesting. When we do these meditations, they just show us the wildest things when we just tune in. It's different for everybody, but they will present in the way that your mind is ready and capable of seeing the information. Beautiful girl, you are so right. More mindfulness. Yeah. I mean, mindfulness toward the end of utilizing your creatorship to create what you want. It's one thing to be mindful, but it's even more powerful to be a creator about what you're minding, right? Be very choose. You can choose. Okay. Sheila Jenkins says men who need to reconnect with their heart and take their masks off. Sheila, that's a great one. I hope you join us tomorrow because I've been letting users choose. But if we don't get to those two by day 11 and 12, I'll probably just bring them up. But I'm trying to allow this to be a bit more organic than directed, but I'm like suggesting it and seeding it now just in case somebody else feels resonance around it. Mother Healer says try earthing and grounding after your sessions, as well as use cold water to wash and warm salt water bath. Yeah, all of that can help. All of that can help the physical body get rid and discharge fear sensation from the physical body and thus the energetic field. Amazing. Great questions, you guys. Great reflections. Uh, does anyone new have an experience that they'd like to share? New folks, what did you notice? What did you experience? Would love to hear from anyone new. And if there's no one new here, that's totally okay. Just thought I would open the floor for people who are experiencing this for the first time. You're so welcomed here. I'm glad you came. And if you have questions, now's the right time to ask them because we'll be wrapping up shortly. Very good, beautiful girl. That salt bath daily will help. Okay, beloveds, I thank you so very much. Such a treat to share space and time with you. We'll be back tomorrow with day 9. And yeah, we've got a very short period of time left. Phoenix Jordan shares, I get pulled here each night. LOL, same tonight. Feels so good, this group. Awesome, Phoenix. So glad you're here hanging out with us. Um, I'm glad that you feel pulled. Hopefully, it's a good pull, you know? I'm glad the group feels good. Um, you're welcome, Sherry. So glad to be with you. Okay, y'all. Have a beautiful night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take great care. Bye for now.